you know, if I can feel a cold spot, or I can kind of personally validate, you know what I'm saying, what's there, you know. I want to get closer to it, a little, you know, closer to the, I guess, the area that it's in. But one thing that really started scaring me is, I guess if it started coming out with horns. Yeah, if it come out with horns, I don't know about Joe, but Joe can sit there and investigate. You can have all those you want, Joe, but I'm gone.
Well, what about, like, I know you've talked about before, and not a lot of paranormal investigators put much into the orbs. How do you feel about that? I mean, because, you know, a lot of evidence you see on the internet or anything would be pictures of dust a lot of times, you
UFOs.
know, or what? How seriously is it taken, you know?
To me, I dismiss all orbs. I give them no credibility at all. I have seen a few that may be questioned, but there is no way I would feel comfortable in presenting orbs as evidence to a client. However, there are investigators out there that will. Sadly, I know one investigator right here in the state of Kentucky that went into a client's home and told them their house had a demon in it because she caught a dust orb in the photo. So.
Yeah,
It goes back to the thrill seekers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the problem too, is I'm sure there's a lot of people like that out there, you know.
Yeah.
Scare people to death in their own houses or whatnot.
But
have you ever seen any orbs yourself that you know was something probably paranormal? Not on photograph or video or anything like that, just eyewitnessing it yourself. Nothing that's...
If I use the orbs in any way, it's because I had a personal experience. They happened to be in the area at the time, and I've got an EVP, and I've got cameras showing the EMF detectors going off. To me, it's just, if it was just by itself, I wouldn't even consider throwing it in as evidence. But if all the other bells and whistles are going off, I feel that it was caught on video, that I still have to show what was caught on video. I don't want to hide anything from nobody. Now, I always tell my theory of orbs. Most of the time, 99.9% of the time, it is dust. But I feel that 0.1%, we got a good EVP. I had an EMF detector go off. I got yanked on. You know what I'm saying? Joe over here may have got yanked on. So I would present that evidence as okay. And we also caught this in the picture at the time. Now, what is it? I have no clue. I would say it was dust, but here it is. You know, that's the only time I would use orbs, and that's because I didn't want to leave it out as evidence.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I said, there have been orbs that you know, it's made me scratch my head. Well, is it or not? Stan and I have a mutual friend.
Usually it ain't evidence, but
Stan and I have a mutual friend, Patty Starr. She has a video of an orb that she caught on an investigation, and most people are familiar with Chip Coffey from television. Chip was investigating with Patty this particular night, and on command, the orb comes out. Am I telling this right? It comes out of Chip's hand, makes a circle, and it comes back to Chip's hand.
Yeah, I've seen the video on that. Yeah, it was. I believe they were down in the basement.
I think so.
Yeah, it does something weird.
Yeah, I mean, and it was all on command.
Yeah,
so,
on command. So there you go.
There you go.
I'll give you the most loaded question I could probably give you.
Oh boy.
Why do you even think that there is ghosts? I mean, what's the reasoning behind?
Well, I guess.
I'll let you go first, Joe.
Okay. God, where to start? I know what I want to say, but I don't know what.
That's why you're going first, Joe.
Okay. We are all made up of energy. When we pass away, okay, physics has proven energy cannot be created, it cannot be destroyed. So when we pass away, our energy goes somewhere. So where does it go? Another way I look at it goes back to my very first paranormal experience. I was working in a funeral home in eastern Kentucky at this particular time. The funeral home was in an old house that had been converted to a funeral home. And I was sitting there in the building alone one afternoon. And I picked up the phone, called my mom back in Moorhead because I hadn't talked to her in a while. And I hadn't just said the words, "Hello, Mom, how you doing?" I heard the front door of the funeral home open. I heard footsteps inside the come inside the funeral home. And I heard what sounded to be two female voices. So I told Mom, I said, I'm going to call you back. I hang up the phone, I walk around my desk, I walk into the foyer of the funeral home, there was nobody there. I walk through the entire funeral home, there's nobody there. I go out on the sidewalk, I look up and down the sidewalk, there's nobody even remotely close to that funeral home. So, what could it have been?
Me, I believe that there are individuals that just have issues back here, unsettled, unfinished business. They don't want to leave. They feel like if they cross over, they've done something wrong here, they're going to be punished for it, so they won't cross over. Just that there's a lot of, there's a lot of issues. They've got problems. I've always said we're almost like psychiatrists for invisible people, because it's almost in every case that I've been on, they've got issues of some sort. They've had a tragic accident, they've been killed, murdered, something tragic-wise has happened to them, or they've done something to feel guilty for it. One way or another, there's a psychological issue involved. I believe that they were a good individual, that they probably had no problem crossing over. And that's a totally different entity. They come back, their spirits. I always preach that there's a difference between a ghost and a spirit. There's a huge, huge difference. A spirit will come back and visit you, usually a family member, somebody you know, a best friend that may have died in a recent car crash. You want to say goodbye, you know what I'm saying, until they see you again next time. Things like that. That's a spirit. But a ghost has issues. And it's finding out, as investigators like me and Joe, we go in there and find out what the issue is. And we try to document it. We try to explain it from our point of views. And I tell everybody, this is just my point of view. There's thousands of investigators that's got other point of views out there, and this is what I can be honest with. This is what I caught. This is what keeps me credible. And if I do not catch anything, I'll be flat honest with you. I do everything for absolutely free that I can do. Now, there's times that I'm not going to drive 500 miles for an investigation, but if there's something in the area and I can get to it, I don't charge anything. You know that personally.
Yeah.
I don't charge anything for nothing. That keeps me clean on credibility purposes. And that way I have no problem looking you in the eye and say, I'm sorry, I didn't catch anything this time. Now, we can always set up a second investigation, come back, and not to say that you didn't see anything, because you're telling me you saw something or something like that, because you live there at that resident, or you're more there at that business, at that location, way more often than I am. I just visited for 3 or 4 hours for an investigation. You invited me in your home or your business and stuff like that. But I'm only there for a short period of time. So I'm not discrediting you as, you know what I'm saying, a residence owner or a business owner or anything like that in any way. But I'm telling you, at that time I didn't catch anything. But when we do, I can usually say it's either that's something tragic involved, or guilt. And I'm kind of like Joe. I believe it's an energy thing. Science is right when they say that you can. It's always, the energy's always been here. You can't destroy it. You can break it down, but you can't destroy it. It will always be here. You can stick an MRI under your head and see the sparks flying. That's energy. When your body dies, where does that energy go?
Right.
Nobody can explain that.
Another thing too, and you might want to explain what this is for people that might not know what it is, but as far as the residual haunting, do you think that is that even a haunting, or is that a tape recording? You know what I mean? Is it
another loaded question?
Oh man, he's full of them today, isn't he?
Different investigators had different opinions on that. A lot of people classify it as a haunting, a lot of people don't. I haven't really given a thought either way. Really, I haven't. So.
What do you think?
I believe there's a huge difference between residual hauntings and intelligent hauntings. That's one of the first things that I look for. Am I messing with something that's